All right, this writer Ben Sin on Forbes thinks that the WeChat ban is going to tank future iPhone sales in China. Okay, this is weird. I don't understand exactly how this is going to go down and what type of pressure Trump can apply to Apple and Apple's operations and businesses within China. We already know the App Store, the iOS App Store in China is not the iOS App Store everywhere else. There's certain concessions that are made. China picks up the phone and they say, Tim, we don't like this app. Tim says, all right, app's gone. Can we keep selling iPhones? Apple makes concessions. They get criticized for making those concessions and following whatever protocol takes place there. Hey, man, I'm not trying to be... different markets have different rules. China's on the extreme end of the spectrum. How do I feel about Apple making these concessions? Apple's been like that. Apple does kind of operate within its own world. The things that matter to Apple, this is the same company who makes the privacy statement everywhere else, who says we're in control of everything, would never let anybody near it. But then in China, it feels like it's a different set of rules, and you really wonder if you get this exposure to these apps that vanish because of the local restrictions and Apple abides by those rules. And then you wonder when other requests come through, oh, hey, we need to take a peek at that, whatever it might be, where else do those concessions take place? The NBA has taken similar heat, right? So it's a tough situation here, but I don't actually know what Trump can do in China's market. If WeChat gets banned in the US, in the App Store, can't Apple just let it live in the App Store in China? Or does it matter where the app data is stored? Like you see where I'm going here. It gets kind of complicated, but if there is some way in which Trump could disrupt the usage of WeChat on iPhones in China, well, then, yeah, that would tank the sales of iPhones in China because, as you and I mentioned, WeChat is a must when you're in China. There's somewhere in the neighborhood, somewhere between 900 million and 1.2 billion users of WeChat worldwide, and a billion of them inside of China, and others presumably in surrounding regions and places like the US for that matter. See, TikTok doesn't touch that, does it? In terms of usage and functionality. I mean, TikTok is a fun app, but it's not your everything app. You're not making payments. It's not your wallet.
Although it is, at least Douyin, the Chinese TikTok, is pretty big. Like, you can shop there.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not.
It has its own ecosystem, but not as big as WeChat.
Yeah. And for whatever Chinese viewers are watching us, because I'm sure there's got to be one.
Yeah.
Or somebody who spends part-time in China and watching us from elsewhere, you let me know what's the more important app, TikTok, Douyin, or WeChat. Because I think it's WeChat, man. When I was in China, WeChat. Everyone suggests just download WeChat temporarily just to communicate with everybody you're going to communicate with while you're here.
Right.
It's the only way to get at people. So I think it's a big deal. But on Android, you can sideload apps pretty easily. You can put whatever you want on there, whether or not it's in the App Store. Even if Google was to abide by any restriction that Trump put on them to say, anywhere you do business, since you're an American company, Google, we don't want this particular app in the App Store. Let's say it could even work that way, which I don't even know if it could. Someone could still just go in and load up WeChat on the side.
Right.
Easily. Not a lot of work to it. On the iOS side, without jailbreaking, that's a no-go. Not to say people couldn't jailbreak. You'd have a whole marketplace around jailbreaking, but it would definitely put a dent in the convenience of picking up an iOS device if this thing could work that way. That suggestion is coming from this writer. I think that would be very hard for Trump to have any reach over there. I would think Apple would say, thanks for your opinion, but we're doing business in China here. It's 20% of our business. We're talking about a few dollars, and we're going to have one app store there, and we'll have a different app store in the US, and now enjoy the rest of your afternoon,
Yeah.
sir. But then that same sir has been pulling Trump cards on everyone. So I don't even know. I don't even know what he could do,
Yeah.
even domestically, to hurt a company who didn't abide by whatever his advice happened to be. Then there's an election coming up, which could obviously skew a lot of this stuff.